Salamat po. Kindly. Agrarian Reform Secretary Jan Casesiones, Social Welfare and Development Secretary Rolando Joselito Bautista, and other members of the Cabinet, Senator Bongo, ang bagong hilig sa baw-baw yan eh. Check talaga. Bataan 1st District Representative Geraldine Roman, ma'am. Quezon City Mayor Maria Josefina Belmonte, ma'am. Former House Speaker Feliciano Belmonte Jr., sir. Land Bank of the Philippines President Cecilia Borromeo, ma'am. Recipients of the government's land distribution program, officials and staff of the Department of Agrarian Reform, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am pleased to join you today as we celebrate the 31st anniversary of the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program, or the CARP. Magsito muna ako dito, and I'd like to just say a few words. I'd like to state very clearly that I have nothing against the Aquino family. Yung dalawang presidente, pati ang pamilya. I'd like to put it in record that for the first two Aquino presidents, sumuporta po kami, ang pamilya namin sa dati. Because we believed in Corazon Aquino, and I happened also to just the best that was available during at that time. Pero the greatest aberration, if I look back in time, alam mo, kung ako siguro ang naging malapit lang naman makapagbulong o to make the suggestion na will not irritate yung sinasabihan ko. Alam mo, yung the greatest aberration sa land reform was the Philippines was declared, the whole of the country, as a land reform program area, pero tinanggal nila ang Hacienda Luisita. Far and in between the years that it was fighting, the tenants, marami ho ang namatay. A lot of people died, invested blood, just to realize until late today yung mga lupa na dapat sa kanila. Marami kasi akong, well, I have a lot of friends all over the Philippines. But when I became president, I told them, especially when I was campaigning in the Negros area, na there is always a time for everything. A time to be rich and a time to be just a flotsam in the economic life of the country. A time to be happy, a time to be just be contented what you are. A time for plenty and a time for want. At sinabi ko sa kanila, because there were still pockets of resistance to place the beneficiaries in possession of the property. I said, I commiserate with you. You are the only one who lost a piece of land here and there because of land reform. But I said, if you are a Christian and you have read the Bible, you'd notice, turn to page where it is, Ecclesiastes 3. Ecclesiastes 3 is where you find the seasons of life. Alam mo, pagdating ng mga Espanyol, there were a favored few, and prior lands, itong Quezon City, were given to favored citizens, yung mga insulares when they went back to Spain, and those who were granted huge tracts of land. As late as around the time when my father was governor of Davao, only one Davao, meron pa mga lupa doon na sila Wallstrom, nabila na ni Danding na yan, kuwang ko. 1,774 owned by one family. Yun ang the greatest anomaly ng bayan natin. Yun nabigyan because they were closed to the powers at the time, and those who had the stamina to go around and skirt whatever there was a hindrance in the law and got favorable concessions. Sabi ko sa kanila, there's a time to hold it and a time to let go. Sabi ko, for so many hundreds of years, kayo mga asinderos enjoyed the fat of the land. Meron kayong mga Mercedes-Benz, the mansions in Manila, those were tied to the lands that were dedicated to the planting of sugar. And at that time, sugar was a very, almost an expensive franchise. You get it from government, and those who were favored with given the sugar quota. Yun ang pinag-aagawa doon. Kaya ng mga mining ngayon, kung ano na pang pinag-aagawa na itong mga gustong yumaman. Yun ang dahilan. And so for about 300, 200 years, may mga pamilya na every year, may kotse na bago, may mga mansion dito, mansion doon. But there is a time when you have to live simply and be one of those who are also just not really poor, but somehow a comfortable life in the family. Marami pa dyan. But when you go into a place where you want to implement land reform, do not just take it as it is. Pag-aralan ninyo muna, study very carefully the psychological, economical, the social background sa mga tao ito. Because if I were the communist, kung ako yung komunista, madali akong mag-recruit doon sa probinsya, kung Mindanao. Walang lupa doon. Lupa, tribal, but not involving huge areas of land. Madali makuha mo yon sa komunista. Madali bulahin ang mga tao na walang alam. Ito naman mga rabble-rouser na komunista, walang ginawa kung hindi magbula ng tao. Promising, number one, yung land reform. So that ang dapat gawin talaga ng gobyerno is to take away from him the richest issue of them all, land. Kaya unahan natin sila. Wala naman ito mga typewriter, wala ang mapa ng Pilipinas, and they try to fight something, a land reform for the entire Philippines. Again, in what manner and to what extent? Tanong ko sa inyo, saan kayo kukuha ng lupa? Makati, yung Davao, Quezon City. But you can farm the mountains, but that would not really be enough for everybody in terms of topography, pati lahat na. Given also the climatic changes that we are now suffering. Pero sa mga lugar, kagaya ng Negros, pati Central Luzon, malalim yan. Ang mga tao niyan na pinapasukan mo, ang paradigm niyan, or the mindset, or the psychological setup of those guys would bring them back always to the many years of feudal slavery. And it is passed on from generation to generation. Alam ng mga tao na yan na talagang hirap sila noon at hirap sila ngayon. At yung mga tao noon, the Mercedes-Benz, hanggang ngayon, bisikleta lang sila. Malalim ang tama niyan. Kaya yung Negros na yan, matagal ang away niyan. At matindi because of the feudal system that existed in those parts of the land na binigay ng mga authorities, the Americans, in Mindanao especially, yung mga homestead. Kaya yung mga 24 hectares given to corporations. And that is why it's very hard to crack areas where feudalism was very much alive for more than 1 or 2 centuries. Nahihirapan tayo dyan. All others, madali. All you have to do is just to lecture on the juice. Yung mga ang simple lang. Bakit ito milyonaryo? Kita mo kalalaki ng bahay, bakit ikaw nipahat lang? Mga ganun lang ang turuan. Doon bakit lupa niya hanggang ngayon? Lulo ng lulo mo, lulo pa. Was a tenant there several years ago, until now. Kaya matindi ang away dyan. It's not only about arms, it's not only about who's gaining a foothold in so many areas. Mahirap ang tao. And I would say that most of them are really, ang isip niyan is towards the feudalism of the past. Diyan tayo nahihirapan. So, bantay kayo dyan, ng Negros na yan, kunin mo ang initiative sa komunista. What they are really parlaying is land. Hindi unahan na natin, kaibigay na natin. Kasabi ko naman sa lahat, magkaibigan tayo, mag-classmate tayo, pero may panahon, nabibitawan mo talaga yan. Not because classmate kita, but because that is the law. And you rather do something about it. If you do not want the setup, change the law. But for as long as the law is there, it has to be implemented. While acknowledge the gains of the Department of Agrarian Reform in the implementation of CARP in the past 3 decades, let me nonetheless stress the need to finally accomplish the ultimate goal of this program through this administration's unique brand of agrarian reform. It's not a unique one. Ibigay mo na lahat, anak ng, sabi ko kay Secretary Casillones, bigay mo na, wala namang silbi yan. You wait for government to develop the lands. Hindi natin matayo-tayo itong mga cannot even handle the urban areas. Pupunta ka pa dyan with ambition. Bigay mo na. Lahat ibigay mo na. And those who won, para tabla na lahat. Wala mang mawawala sa atin. Tayong walang lupa, walang mawawala. Well, yan pang ano yan, pang asar lang. But Wala man tayong nawala sa atin. Me, we are migrants. Ang nandoon sa Davao noon, mas forestal lahat. Walang agriculture, konti lang ang commercial. So nothing to lose. But again, to the greatest good for the greatest number. That is the rule, unchanging and constant all throughout the eons or the generation. Yun ang sundin natin. As we highlight our accomplishments and milestones in implementing CARP, let us never lose sight of the primary aim of this program, which is to uphold the welfare of the landless farmers, promote social justice, welfare of our landless farmers, and attain sound rural development to the equitable distribution of all agricultural lands across the country. Alam mo, kayong mga komunista, baka akala ko kayo lang ang marunong. Even if you did not exist, land reform would still be the program of any government dito sa Pilipinas. Totoo yan. Because even without the element of violence and armed struggle, dadating talaga ang panahon that you have to equitably distribute the land to the people. It's scarce. Maliit ang mundo. Now, if you own about 1 or 2 hectares, that by itself is a luxury. Kaya mas aabot ng a little bit higher than what is used to be now. Kung magamit lang sana nila, ma'am, yung mga CLOA certificates nila as collateral for mortgage. That's the only way na magamit. Hindi lang nagamit eh. So land bank has to accept it by way of mortgage para makapaghiram ng pera. Ngayon, kung hindi makabayad, maglipat na lang kayo ng probinsya para hindi na kayo makita ng mga tagadar. Nanakawin man rin yan. Kunin na ninyo. Today is indeed an auspicious occasion to realize the emancipation of our farmers by giving them actual ownership over the lands which they have been tilling for decades. I am therefore happy to lead the distribution of the certificates of the Land Ownership Awards or CLOAs to the agrarian reform beneficiaries here today. It is the ultimate aspiration of every farmer to own the lands they now till. Now with these titles in their hands, I am confident that every beneficiary will be inspired to improve and increase their production through sustainable farming methods. Alam mo, may isingit ako dito. Wala bang pare dito? Wala. Ako, ministry ako noon. Sa seminaryo ako, pero may last year, lumabas ako. Alam mo, itong sitwasyon ninyo sa bukid, saan ba ako kahapon? Where was I yesterday? Ay, mga sundalo. Ano, yung mga farmers, pagpunta ako sa bukid, including my daughter, Inday, tanong kami ng farmer, ilan ang anak mo? Magsa, 6 mo, 7. Sus Marius. Kaya itong, ang isang kulang na lang natin actually, na how to get it started and, get it rolling beginning at least in the next 3 years. Yang ibalik ninyo yung family planning. I know of only 2 guys, presidents, who did it. And it was Ramos, who was a Protestant, anak ko, na talagang pinipilit ko sa aking siyudad ang land reform. You can ask any guy from Davao. Yung dito ngayon na taga Davao, tanongin niya. Sa Davao, yung drawer ko sa punong-puno yan ng pills. Pills para hindi mga anak. Yung iba tinatago ko rin para akin. Pero yung mga babae, pangangailangan ng trabaho, I tell her, okay, you come back to me after you deliver your baby. But have yourself legation. Pag walang legation, di kita matutulungan. Kasi ako, ang policy ko, tumutulong ako. If you're dying, I will help you. But I will just say that I will give you money to ease the pain. Kasi pamamatay na yan, magsasayang ako ng pera ng chemo na hindi naman talaga mabubuhay yan. Itulong ko lang itong pera sa mabuhay. Yung patay, just to ease the pain, but you hurry up. Kasi hindi madali you give what? Chemo? Extend the life? Extend the suffering? What's the quality of life? Ganon. Magbigay ako ng pera, 5,000 sa babae. Tanungin mo mga taga-Davao. Taga-Davao yan. Sila yung si Amy, 2,000 sa doktor, 3,000 sa kanila. So they cannot work that day sa pagputol. Yan ang program ko. And well-meaning friends, one of them is Sunny Dominguez, the finance secretary, who by the way owns the Marco Polo. Ngayon ang contributor dyan sa family planning sa legation. Kukontribute yan 1 million, 2 million para lang to. Yan ang isang i-hurdle natin. Hindi ko sabihin na, but do not place too much importance about religion. Tutok ka lang sa Diyos. When you are in a monal wandering, do not go to your religion. It cannot help you. Maniwala kayo. At 74 years old, I'm telling you, you go direct to your God and pray and ask for guidance. Especially in matters of yung kasalanan yung mag-family planning. Of course, abortion is out of the question. I will not allow it. Just like itong Iceland, who initiated that signature campaign to condemn us sa extrajudicial killing. But do you know that in Iceland, they allow abortion up to 6 months? You add 1 more year, 1 more month, and you have the principle of intrauterine life. That if you give birth at 6 months, the baby will survive. Iceland allows the slaughter of the fetus inside the womb of the mother up to 6 months. Putang ina nila. They worry more of the drug lords at itong mga who are pushing drugs killing our citizens and creating a social dysfunction in almost all tinamaan. There are about 1,600,000 of them who are slaves to a drug called shabu, which they need every day just to have the fix, and sometimes killing people to get the money to pay for it. Hindi na naintindihan yung mga gagong yan. Itong mga Iceland, palimbasa, ice ang kain. Wala namang tubig yan eh. Bobo ang mga putang ina niya. Just imagine, 6 months. You allow an innocent human being already thriving and living inside the mother's body. Sa Bisaya pa, ilarot mo yung just pull it. Pagka walang hiya itong mga puti talaga. Tapos tinuturuan ako kung ano ang gawin ko. I am sorry for you. That's why you are condemned there in the ice forever. I hope you will freeze in time. It is the ultimate aspiration of every farmer to own the lands they till. Now with these titles in their hands, I am confident that every beneficiary will be inspired to improve and increase their production through sustainable farming methods. Let me take this occasion to reaffirm the administration's commitment to correct the historical distortion brought about by the misallocation of lands which had caused social injustice and the underperformance of the rural economy. Totoo yan. In most of the cities that were developed at the time, Mindanao was a frontier. At lahat ng pumunta doon, if you are a Visayan talking guy, or if you use Tagalog, Ilocano, Bicolano, you are not a native of Mindanao. If your religion is, well, not Islam, you are not an aborigine of Mindanao. Kami yung pumunta, except for my mother, but my father, si Cebuano, my mother is si Maranao, nagpunta doon to seek the greener pasture. Yun yung mga walang lupa. And the first na umabot sa Davao were the Ilocanos. They were the first educators sa Mindanao. Ayan ang totoo niya. Walang nag-umpisa sa Davao except Torrendo, Alcantara, yung may mga pera, nag-invest doon. But by and large, yung nagpunta doon to seek a greener pasture, we started from scratch. And you can just imagine Davao City in 1948. The edge of the community, ay gubat po. So, ganon ang istorya. Huwag kayong maniwala na ang Davao mayayaman. Mayayaman na ngayon yan. Logging, mining, and all. Yung iba through hard work. Karamihan dyan, may the second and third generation are the ones reaping the harvest. Let me take this occasion to reaffirm this administration's commitment to tapos na pala, pabalik-balik na ako. I assure you that this administration will endeavor to pursue the full implementation of CARP because it is only by empowering farmers can we achieve the sustained growth of our rural economies. This in turn would lead to inclusive progress for our nation. Ngayon, sa mga kaibigan ko at mga kalaban ko, we are trying our very best to bring up some sort of a saner Philippines, medyo hindi biyak. Alam mo, alam ko, naintindihan ko. But you want reforms immediately. Gusto ninyo with the flip of the finger, nandyan na kaagad. And you do armed struggle. Alam mo, ang revolution is no longer evolved. You cannot win a fight for social justice or for a better life in your country if you go to revolution. It won't work. Hindi ka kayo makahawak ng isang barangay. And in the coming days, there will be a very, very radical change in the behavior of government. You know, I am not challenging. You might win or you may lose, but that is something to be seen. But I intend to call the attention of the military guys here, two of them, for pati ikaw bang anong ranggo mo na? Major ka na, no? Lieutenant General ka na? Buti ka pa. Ako, ni Sargento, hindi ako binigyan itong forces nito. We cannot go on this way. We have been fighting for 53 years. Mga kababayan, 53 years. Maawa naman kayo sa coming generation. Yung atin, tatay natin, lolo natin, tiyuhin ko, the adopted brother of my father, he was shot while having a meal with breaking bread with. Matapos kumain, binaril sa ulo ng mga NPA. Pero kami, we do not have that hatred in our heart. Ang akin lang, it's about time that you stop this road revolution. If you want changes, it has to be through evolution. Dahan-dahan lang. Now, dito sa gobyerno, I'm telling you now, and I will not stay forever in this world, but there are two things which you must remember. If we cannot have law and order in this country, and if we cannot stop corruption in government, there can be never will we rise to the next step as a nation. Basta nandyan pa yung corruption, nandyan pa yung... We are fighting so many fronts. We are fighting the Abu Sayyaf. We do not call them Abu Sayyaf anymore. They're ISIS. They are tied up with the radical bankrupt movement dyan sa Middle East. Walang mga utak yan kung hindi magpatay pati magsira. Then I am facing the revolutionary fronts. Territorial ang ano nila. And that's the MI and the MF. We have already done our part, and I'd like to thank the Maguindanao, the Iranians, and the Maranaos for giving it a chance to work. Miswari, in the goodness of God's time, baka Then we have the Truga. I have one thing to say. I've been repeating it several times. Drugs will destroy my country. It will create mass social dysfunction. It will pull the country down, and it would kill our children. So pag nandiyan ka sa droga, let me be very frank, to the human rights, and to all, and to the crying babies, putang inan mo, pagka pumasok ka dyan, papatayin talaga kita. No, wala ako. I will not even say a little prayer for you. Talagang papatayin kita. And that's it. If you want to escape the drop it. Bitawan mo, tapos na. Nothing to worry. Drop the drugs, drop the weapons, and we can talk. At ako magpakumbaba. Total ako naman, bayad ng tao para utusan. We are all workers in government and we work for the people. Period. Huwag na yung mga presidente, mataas na masyado yan. Hindi ninyo maabot yan sa isip ninyo. And I don't even call myself president. Just call me mayor. Yan lang naman talaga ang siguro kaya rin ng utak ko. Presidente, masyadong yan, mataas na. I find it a little bit nakukornehan ako. And even if you call me president, I will not. Hindi kita papansinin. Totoo yan. Pag president, alam ko ako nga. Diretso lang ko. Kung sabi mayor, ano yon? Pag sabi mong, totoo, si Mayor Belmonte, tapikin mo ako, sabihin mo, presidente, sabihin kita, ha? Pag sabi mo, Mayor, yes sir, what can I do for you? It's not that I'm belittling the position. Ang problema ko is ganito. Ang pagka-mayor ko, the paradigm or whatever, however I look at the position, dala-dala ko sa pagka-presidente. Kaya kung gusto ko magsabi ng putang ina mo, magsabi ako ng putang ina mo, hindi ko talaga pipigilan. Kung si ambasador nakikinig dyan, sabi niya, walang putang ina mo, that's your problem. It is not my problem. You are here, you try to understand what is putang ina mo. Para as we work together in improving the quality of life for our farmers, their families, and communities. I am counting to all agrarian reform beneficiaries to support the growth and development of agricultural sector to responsible farming. Masahan ninyo, maybe this year, ang pinakamataas sa budget natin is yung edukasyon. Then yung DPWH. Baka itong sa last 2 years ko, yung iangat ko kayong mga farmers. At sana naman na nandito ba si Pinyol? Did you invite? Baulinte itong sabi niya, I assure you, Mr. Huwag na yung sabihin sa kanya. May insulto yung tao. Pero sinabi kasi niya sa cabinet. Sabi niya, I assure you, Mr. President, ganun English yun that I think, I believe that at the end of the year, we will be a net exporting country of rice. Wow! Sabi namin sa cabinet, tuga? Yes! Doable yan. So, nagkaroon na ng crisis, bigo, to Pinyol, kagbay ara ng crisis sa bugay. May problema ta. That is a temporary setback, Mr. President. I assure you that there will be enough time to recover. Tigakabot siya ng typhoon na haros dari, haros dito. Hangin nga rin, haros dito. Ay sabi ko, you forgot to factor in, Mr. Secretary, the climactic. Passing lang na. So, minsan, it brings my mind back to an earlier incident. Kita kami sa airport. Di nakita niya ako. Di sa airport sa Davao, may ara ng masayista. Di na nakita niyo nung kamo na kadto mo sa Davao na may masayista sa ulo ng mga blind. So nakita niya ako. So, Mr. President, are you leaving? English yan. Oo, punta ko sa Manila. Delayed ang flight natin to. Kapag masahe na ako. Po, direct ka sa Pikas. Sige. Wala ka oras ang delay natin. O siguro mga usa. Alam mo naman yan, pal. Delayed man talaga. Tapos, pamasahe na rin siya. Sabi ko, sige masayista yung kaibigan ko. So, sige na, ginamasahe siya. Sige na kami usap, ilunggo siya. Linti nga, kining complaining about everything under the sun. Tapos sabi ng masayista, Sir, lunggo ka, sir? Sabi ni sekretary, oo, ito nga why alam mo, ilunggo ko? Sabi niya, Sir, linti. Gumasahe ko sa ulo mo, gadamo sa hangin. May ara ng ilongga sa likod, Basta Ilonggo, rapapap dito, rapapap dito, patay silang lahat. Well, to Secretary Pinyo, that's just, lang yan, biro lang yan. That's the joke dyan sa mga, pardon, my apologies, do not mean to insult you. Istorya lang yan, kasi net exporter nga Kaya nalaala ko yung net exporter. Ngayon nagka-crisis sa bigas, putang ina. And I thought it would never happen. Would never happen in my term. Nangyari talaga. Sabi ko sa kanila, look, pag yung putang inang budiga na yan, hanggang dyan yung sako, pabutin mo doon sa ceiling. Because Filipino is visual. Pag nakita niya yung budiga niya hanggang doon, sa taas, okay yan sa Filipino. Pag nakita niya down kayan to a fourth of its total capacity, and somebody brings out a very bad joke about the stocks or the supply of the rice, o ganyan na lang niya nakita, almost about 5 feet. Marami na yung so create panic. Sabi ko, pataasin mo yan. Total, first out, first in, first out naman. Punuin mo yung mga bodega. And by the way, bilihin mo yung yung local. Unahin muna ninyo sa during harvest time. Magpalugi tayo. Kung ipagbili nila ng mahal, dublado, sige lang, total, pera man ng Pilipino yan. Ubusin ninyo. Basta para lang sa tao. Okay. With the technology transfer, resource and facility support, and capacity building programs that this administration will make available to our farmers, I am confident that we will see stronger, a brighter future for agriculture in the Philippines. As I said, in the coming months, we would be dealing, konektado itong lupa sa, I do not think that we can afford to wage a war another 53 years. So I am telling the military, can we end it now? We cannot afford to pass it on to the next generation. Baka hindi na nila makaya. It has to be now. And I'm serving notice to everybody that in the coming months, it will be not really bloody, but there will be at least a little trouble for us. We have to finish it, pati droga. And this will make us a magnet for all criticisms that are there waiting for us to do and commit a wrong. And with that, I'd like to congratulate you during this anniversary. I'm very happy and very contented with the output and the pace that we are distributing the people. In the end, hindi lang ninyo alam, in the end, you would have contributed to the overall picture of the entire gamut of the law and order of our country. Maraming salamat po.